The second time I seen him was at his home in Las Vegas, Nevada. Everybody thinks he faked his death. He's not dead. There was many things that happened and he got set up for a little bit to still be able to live his life and still be in the public eye. He's still making music.
Tupac got caught on TMZ in 2009 after he burnt his fingerprints off and everybody seen him, right? The LAPD went out and covered that. Look it up on TMZ. Look it up. Go look it up yourself. Go look it up yourself. You think I'm scared of you? Let's go.
Jada, you're a bald-head liar and you're a addict, right?
Oh,
you told the world that you were going to sue me. As of yet, and you said you're going to do it swiftly. It's been over 2 weeks. So Jada, I'm giving you 2 more weeks to sue me. If you don't sue me, this is what's going to happen. All parties, right? And the people, the men that you hit with dildos, I'm naming names, right? All the salacious stuff that you have done and hurt other people, I'm naming names. You assassinate my character. You say I extort you. Well, extortion is...
Sorry. He was, it was beyond friendship for us, as far as just, it's really difficult to explain because...
The silence? Oh, that silence is getting loud. Because what if the truth everyone mocked, the story they called crazy, was actually the one thing the industry has been desperately trying to bury? What if the whispers about Tupac Shakur having a secret daughter were never rumors, but warnings? And now, suddenly, the walls are cracking, and right at the center of it all stands Jada Pinkett Smith, not as a bystander, but as someone who might have known far more than she ever admitted. Because here's where it gets uncomfortable. Brother Bilal didn't just come back talking, he came back swinging. And not with soft accusations, not with vague hints, but with sharp, direct claims that hit like a storm nobody saw coming. He's pointing fingers, loudly, repeatedly. And the name he keeps circling back to? Jada, again and again. Why? Because according to him, this isn't just about some wild theory floating online. This is about something hidden in plain sight for years. And then there's Allie Carter, the name people laughed at, dismissed, ignored. The girl who kept talking when nobody wanted to listen. The one who claimed something so shocking that it sounded impossible, that she is Tupac's daughter. At first, people rolled their eyes. They called it attention-seeking, clout-chasing. But now the energy is shifting. Now people are pausing, rewinding, asking questions they were too quick to dismiss before. Because here's the twist that nobody can ignore anymore. What if the reason people tried so hard to silence her is because she was telling the truth? Think about it. Allie wasn't just making random noise online. She was already exposing things, naming names, describing events, talking about situations that made people uncomfortable. And suddenly, the narrative around her shifts from she's crazy to wait, how does she know all this? That's when things start getting dangerous. That's when silence becomes strategy. And that's exactly where the speculation around Jada becomes explosive. Because if there is one person, just one, who would have known something like this, it would be her. Her connection to Tupac wasn't casual. It wasn't distant. It was intense, emotional, deeply rooted. A bond that people still talk about like it was unfinished, unresolved, maybe even misunderstood. So if Allie is telling the truth, if there's even a fraction of reality in her claims, then how could Jada not know?
Ron Jeremy, Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres, Whoopi Goldberg, Lady Gaga, Chrissy Teigen, John Legend, Joan Rivers, Rob Saget. Do you want me to keep going? Ask me. Everybody wonder why my smile is so deep. Stalked and hunted down for your own information. You get abused and re-victimized again by people who wanted to argue a back and forth this week like that fucking mattered. Okay, you had Stu Peters and Timothy Charles Homestead going back and forth, and nobody has even bothered. Not that I give a damn, and not that I understand that you guys are gonna be that selfish, but nobody has bothered to apologize for all the hell that has happened. But you guys were arguing back and forth, and in that meantime, we lost our home. You don't believe me? Here you go. What once was a full house, we were still paying rent on our house. What we were doing this whole time was moving everything because our house is gone. Our house is gone. This is the price. This is the price of speaking out. What was our beautiful 3-bedroom acre home on 21225 Standing Rock Avenue, because everybody has the address, because organizations that were attached to Marx, Sawyer, and many other organizations decided to put out the address, my license plate to one of my cars, and many other of my shit. So here you go. You can have it, right? Because this is what happens when you speak out. This is what happens when you tell all the truth. This is what happens when you decided to stand up for the children, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to do a seminar, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to just be and show up somewhere and talk and monetize every fucking thing that they're saying. When you realize that that shit is bull, then you will understand. Look at the tactics and pay attention. Pay attention. I'm still not asking you for a damn thing but to wake up. I'm not asking you for a damn thing but just to get outside. I don't give a damn about money, numbers on my platforms. You can fucking have all of it. You took everything. The only thing that I give a shit about right now is the fact that there is a baby. There's baby in the way. There are people that I love that I can't get out of the way. What am I supposed to do when the people in the authority that you're supposed to go to, you can't go to them?
And this is where the story stops being gossip and starts feeling disturbingly real. Because Allie isn't just talking about things she heard. She's not repeating rumors. She's telling stories that feel lived, experienced, carved into memory in a way that doesn't fade. And that's what makes people uneasy. Because according to her, this wasn't just a hidden identity. It was a life filled with things no one should ever have to endure. She claims she was taken, controlled, forced into situations that sound too dark to even process fully. And the most chilling part? She says not everyone made it out. Some didn't survive. Some disappeared. And those who did came out different. That's not the kind of story you casually make up. That's not the kind of narrative you repeat for attention. That's the kind of story that sticks with you because it feels like it came from somewhere real. And suddenly people are asking a terrifying question. If she's telling the truth about her past, then what else is she telling the truth about?
There are 3-4-year-olds that people take pride in sticking bars of children. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people tie 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old children to horse stables and have horses and dogs with them, and then they get off on that. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people hang children upside down in satanic ritual abuse meetings, and they literally hang them. Literally, by metal prongs, they hang them to get dripping out of them, and people go up under and like you're under a rainfall to take their blood.
Because Allie didn't just speak, she documented, filed, put it in writing. An affidavit, detailed, structured, naming powerful figures, names that carry weight, names that people don't casually throw around unless they're ready for consequences. And yet she did it anyway. And just when people thought it couldn't get more shocking, she drops the biggest claim of all. Tupac, her father. Now pause right there, because that changes everything. If that claim holds even a shred of truth, then suddenly her voice isn't just noise. It's evidence. It's credibility. It's a key that unlocks a completely different version of reality. And that's exactly why some people believe the silence around her isn't accidental. It's intentional. Because acknowledging her wouldn't just be about family. It would open doors that were never meant to be opened.
You won't be able to hide from the public if I do, okay? Anybody that was in my biological family as surrogates, they know damn well what I'm talking about. All of y'all know what I'm talking about. And if something happens to this woman right here, that's the only person that I will ever consider. She is my mother. I know nothing else. So somebody touch my mama, it won't be a Sandra Bland situation. You guys will be seeing us on t-shirts. And I'm down with that because we know where we're going. But if insurance releases insurance, you release everything. And I mean everything. If a song comes on, I'm cleaning out my closet. Everybody knows what that means. So I want to tell you now, I know a lot of shit that I should not know. I haven't even got to the facilities. I haven't even got to things where things are buried. Why do I know cases that were in San Bernardino in 2005 when I was I know a lot of shit I haven't put off yet, because every time I do, you guys see what kind of hell that we get. So like I said, Tupac, you know what I'm talking about, and you won't even be able to hide from your own family. Try me.
I tried to go back to the hospital, St. Bernardines, California. I tried to go back and get some type of history.
And now, the spotlight turns, inevitably, back to Jada. Because out of everyone connected to Tupac, she's the one who still speaks about him like he never really left. The one who keeps his memory alive in a way that feels personal, almost unfinished. Their bond wasn't simple. It wasn't just friendship. It was layered, emotional, deep in a way that even outsiders could feel. They met young, connected instantly, built something that lasted beyond time, beyond distance, even beyond death. And even now, years later, Jada still talks about him with a kind of intensity that raises eyebrows. So here's the uncomfortable question again. If anyone knew about a secret, if anyone was close enough to see what others couldn't, wouldn't it be her?
Funny looking. Definitely, from looking at him, wasn't necessarily like the type of cat that I would even like deal with, you know. But as soon as he approached me, he was like a magnet. It was like once you paid attention to him, he kind of sucked you in. And we hit it off from that moment on. He would tell me all the time, Jada, you're gonna be a star. You know what I mean? I'm like, Pa, come on. He's like, you're gonna be a star. You got it. You just got it. I don't think either one of us really thought that we would have made it in the way that we did. But we knew we were going to do something. He was one of my best friends.
Because the way Tupac spoke about Jada, it wasn't casual, it wasn't ordinary, it was deep, almost poetic. The kind of words that don't come from surface-level connection. The kind of words that suggest something deeper, something that maybe never fully came into the light. And maybe that's why this situation feels so unsettling, because it forces people to look at their story differently, to question timelines, to rethink what they thought they knew. Because if there were secrets back then, if there were moments hidden between the lines, then what else might have been left unsaid?
Do you have a tissue?
Thanks. You give nice hugs.
And now, everything is colliding. Will Smith's past, Jada's silence, Bilal's accusations, Ali's claims. It's like pieces of a puzzle that weren't supposed to fit, suddenly aligning in a way that feels too precise to ignore. Because Bilal isn't backing down. Not even a little. He's pushing harder, louder, bringing up past allegations, digging into situations that were already controversial, and tying them back into this growing storm around Jada. And at this point, people aren't just watching anymore. They're analyzing, connecting dots, replaying interviews, looking for cracks. Because the more you look, the more questions appear. And then comes the most explosive part, the alleged threats, the lawsuit, the confrontation, a situation that turns this from messy gossip into something much more serious. Because if these claims are true, then this isn't just about silence. This is about control, about pressure, about keeping certain narratives from ever reaching the surface. And suddenly, the question shifts again. Not is it true, but why does it feel like someone doesn't want it to be? Because whether Ali is right or wrong, whether Bilal is exaggerating or exposing, one thing is clear: the story isn't dying. It's growing, spreading, evolving, and every new detail makes the silence around it feel heavier, more intentional, more suspicious. So now the real question isn't just about Tupac, or Ali, or even Jada. It's this: if the truth has been hidden all this time, how much longer can it stay buried? And here's where everything starts to feel calculated. Because when stories like this refuse to die, when they keep resurfacing, evolving, gaining traction, you have to ask yourself a dangerous question. Is it chaos, or is it something trying to break through years of silence? Because every time people try to dismiss Ali Carter, something new pulls the narrative right back into the spotlight. And now, with brother Bilal pushing harder than ever, it feels less like a coincidence and more like a pattern. Because let's be honest, Bilal isn't just speaking randomly. He's been consistent, loud, almost relentless. And the more he talks, the more uncomfortable it gets for Jada Pinkett Smith. Not just because of what he's saying now, but because of what he's been saying for a long time. This isn't a one-time accusation. This is a buildup, a history of claims that keep circling back to the same people, the same secrets, the same tension that refuses to settle. And when patterns repeat like that, people start paying attention, because suddenly it's not just about whether Ali is Tupac's daughter. It's about why that claim has been buried so aggressively. Why every time her name comes up, it's met with ridicule instead of investigation. Why her voice was dismissed so quickly. And why now, years later, people are starting to revisit everything she said with a completely different lens. And that shift? That's dangerous. Because once you start looking closer at Ali's story, it doesn't feel random anymore. It feels layered, heavy, like pieces of something much bigger than just one person's experience. The kind of story that, if true, doesn't just expose individuals, it exposes systems, networks, power structures that thrive on silence. She describes things that don't sound like imagination, situations that carry detail, emotion, specificity. And those details, they stick because they don't feel rehearsed, they feel remembered. And that's what makes people uncomfortable. Because if even a fraction of what she's saying is real, then this isn't just about a hidden identity, it's about a hidden reality. And let's not forget the affidavit, because that changes everything. Talking is one thing, putting it on paper, that's something else entirely. That's risk. That's accountability. That's stepping into a space where consequences become real. And yet, she did it anyway. She named names, powerful names, the kind of names people usually whisper, not document. And still, instead of being taken seriously, she was brushed off, ignored, labeled. And that reaction alone, that immediate dismissal, has people wondering if it was less about disbelief and more about discomfort. Because sometimes, the easiest way to bury something isn't to fight it, it's to make people laugh at it. But then, the focus shifts back again to Jada, because no matter how many angles this story takes, it always circles back to her. Her connection to Tupac Shakur isn't just a detail, it's the center of gravity in this entire narrative. The one constant, the one link that ties everything together. And the way she's always spoken about Tupac, it's never felt finished, like there were things left unsaid, emotions left unresolved, a story that didn't get its proper ending. So when people start asking if she knew something, it doesn't feel like a stretch. It feels like the question that was always waiting to be asked. Because if there was ever a secret, she would have been close enough to see it. And those words Tupac wrote about her, they don't just echo, they linger. They create this emotional weight that refuses to fade. Because it wasn't just admiration, it was depth, intensity, the kind of connection that makes people wonder what existed behind closed doors, beyond what was ever publicly acknowledged. And that's where speculation grows. Because when emotions run that deep, when bonds are that strong, secrets don't feel impossible anymore. They feel plausible. And suddenly, the timeline doesn't feel as clear as it once did. And then comes the chaos surrounding Will Smith, because now his name is being pulled into the conversation again, not directly tied to Ali, but connected through Bilal's long list of claims. Claims that have already stirred controversy before. Claims that made headlines. Claims that people tried to forget. But now, they're resurfacing. Again. And when multiple narratives start overlapping like that, it stops feeling like separate stories. It starts feeling like a network of secrets that all somehow connect. Because if this is all just coincidence, then why does it feel like a puzzle that's slowly coming together? And if it's not coincidence, then what exactly has been hidden all this time? And more importantly, who already knows the truth but refuses to say it out loud?